I just discovered something that's left me with a weird feeling. My voice assistant has been listening to me even when I'm not talking to it. It's crazy to think about, but it's true. We've all got these smart speakers in our homes, from Alexa to Google Assistant, and they're always on, waiting for our next command. But have you ever stopped to think about what's happening when you're not actively using them? I mean, are they just sitting there, quietly waiting, or is something more going on? It's a bit unsettling, to be honest. As I started digging into this, I realized that it's not just about the tech itself, but about our own sense of privacy. And that's what got me curious. How do these voice assistants actually work? It turns out, they're using something called wake words to know when to start listening. So, when you say "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google," that's the trigger for them to start recording. But here's the thing, they're not just listening for those specific words, they're listening for anything that sounds like them. It's like they're trying to catch a whisper in a crowded room. But what happens when they think they've heard that wake word, but it's actually just the TV or a conversation in the background? That's when things can get a bit murky. I mean, think about it like this. Imagine you're at a party, and someone says your name, but it's not actually meant for you. You might turn around, thinking someone's trying to get your attention, but it's just a false alarm. It's kind of like that with voice assistants, except instead of turning around, they start recording. As I learned more about this, I started to think about the implications for our privacy. I mean, we're putting these devices in our homes, in our most private spaces, and they're always listening. It's like having a friend who's always dropping by, but never actually leaves. And we're giving them access to all sorts of personal info, from our schedules to our shopping lists. It's a bit Wild West, to be honest. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what's the big deal? I've got nothing to hide. And that's fair, but it's not just about what we're hiding, it's about what we're comfortable sharing. Think of it like this, you might not mind if a friend drops by unannounced, but you might not want them to go through your drawers, either. It's about boundaries, and right now, those boundaries are a bit fuzzy. As we navigate this new world of smart speakers and voice assistants, we need to think carefully about what we're getting ourselves into. I mean, it's not just about the tech itself, but about how we're using it, and what we're giving up in the process. It's like we're trading convenience for privacy, and that's a trade-off we should be aware of. And that's what brings me to my own personal dilemma. I love using Alexa to control my lights and play music, but at the same time, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with the idea of it always listening. It's like having a constant companion, but one that's also a bit of a snoop. I'm not sure I've resolved this in my own mind, to be honest. As we consider the role of voice assistants in our lives, we need to think about what we want to get out of them, and what we're willing to give up. It's like deciding what to share with a friend. You might not want to share everything, but you still want to be able to hang out and have fun. We need to find that balance with our voice assistants, too. So, what's the solution here? Do we just accept that our voice assistants are always listening, and try to be more mindful of what we're saying around them? Or do we need to start thinking about new ways to design these devices, so they're not always on, waiting to pounce? It's a tough question, and one that we'll need to grapple with as we move forward. As I've learned more about this, I've started to realize just how complex the issue is. It's not just about the tech itself, but about our own relationships with these devices. We're creating a new world, one where we're constantly interacting with machines, and that's going to take some getting used to. It's like we're learning a new language, one that's still evolving. But as we navigate this new world, we need to keep asking questions. We need to keep pushing the companies that make these devices to be more transparent, and to give us more control over how they work. It's like we're holding them accountable for their actions, and that's a good thing. As we consider the future of voice assistants, we need to think about what we want that future to look like. Do we want a world where our devices are always listening, always waiting to respond? Or do we want something more nuanced, something that gives us more control over our own privacy? It's a question that's worth thinking about, and one that we should all be weighing in on. And that's what brings me to my final thought. What do you think about this? Are you comfortable with the idea of your voice assistant always listening, or do you think we need to start rethinking how these devices work? It's a question that's worth discussing, and one that I'd love to hear your thoughts on. As you consider your answer, I hope you'll join me in thinking more about the world we're creating, and the role we want these devices to play in it. If you're as curious about this as I am, then I'd love for you to join me on this journey, and to subscribe to my channel for more explorations of the intersection of tech in our everyday lives.